welcome back to another shop update. If you remember last time I sort of ended the video saying, this is going to be an ongoing series, and that, hey, maybe next time I talk to you, I will have found that holy grail of guitars. You might remember me mentioning, one or two guitars that I was really looking at trying to get and trying out. Well, I think I found one of them. I went to Mullis Music in Concord about 2 days ago, just trying to cross some things off my list and trying to maybe find something just anywhere, not really expecting much, and I think I found it, dude. We're actually gonna get ready to go today to play it one more time, make the purchase, and bring it back here, hopefully, and also do a couple other interesting errands today that could also go in the shop too. So we're getting ready to go. Let me tell you a quick story about how I came to this conclusion, because I've actually been trying a lot of guitars out. I haven't really told you about my little Telecaster journey. So in the hunt for a guitar, I've actually been to a lot of different places to try to find the right one. Like I mentioned last time, I really wanted to go in store to see one. About a week ago from the recording of this shop update, we went as a family to this restaurant kind of in the Winston-Salem area, and on the way we noticed there were some guitar stores there, and we were like, let's try to visit them. Let's just make a little day trip out of it. So went to actually about 3 guitar stores that day, just trying different things out. You probably remember from my last shop update, there was a Telecaster, actually 3 Telecasters I saw at a Guitar Center in Charlotte. Tried 2 out of 3 of them. Didn't really care for either of them that much, so I was like, okay. So went to a Guitar Center in Greensboro and a Guitar Center in Winston-Salem to try out a few of their Tellies as well as a few of their PRSs. Wasn't super impressed. Their Tellies were okay. There's one Telly I really enjoyed. I think it was this Crimson Oxblood looking Telecaster that was sort of a modern one. Also went to a place called the Music Barn in Greensboro. Beautiful place, awesome looking area. Went in there, looked around at their guitars. I found one looked exactly like Brent Bauer's Fender Telecaster. Really the thing that really inspired me to start looking again for my dream Telly. But honestly, it did not feel very good. I don't know if it was the neck or something about the finish on the neck. I don't know what it was, but something about it did not resonate with me as much as I would have hoped. So after that trip, like I said, we went to 3 different guitar stores, trying different things out, and I've even been before that point to some just random little places just to see what they had and see if anything really struck me, and honestly nothing did. However, just a couple days ago, like I mentioned, I was like, maybe there's a place I can go to kind of just knock off the list, because at this point I was sort of felt a little defeated, because I was hopeful on that trip last week that I'd find that thing, because you're visiting 3 different guitar stores, you think the probability of you running into one is greater. So a little defeated, I was like, let's just go to Mullis Music. It's sort of close to us-ish. So I was like, let's just, make a little mini trip down there, and maybe I'll see something, maybe I won't. Not really even expecting anything, and sure enough, I found it. Picked that guitar up instantly, one of the first ones I noticed, and I pretty much immediately was like, I love this. This is, I really didn't want to put it down. It felt good. The neck felt great. The action was set up perfectly. Interestingly enough, Tellys usually have 3 different positions, bridge, middle, like between the 2, and neck. But this one actually had 4. Apparently there's 2 different middle positions, essentially. One that actually wires the pickups in a series, and the other that wires it in parallel. Really interesting. Did not know that was any type of a thing. I really didn't know that was a thing people could have. I guess it makes sense that you can wire things in series and parallel, but never really considered it. So after sleeping on it for like 2 days and really thinking about it, I've made the decision, and we're gonna go today to Mullis Music to pick it up. So without further ado and yakking, let's actually get there so nobody buys it before me. I looked it up. Apparently, this difference between these 2 is one does them in series and one does them in parallel. Oh. I had no idea until I looked it up. I was like, oh, that's what that is. I got it. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take her to the shop where she belongs. I'm so excited. And it came with a hard case too, even better. And he knocked off a little bit off because of cash. We got it, so taking her home. I gotta name her though. I don't know what the name of it is. We'll find out. So I got home and I set my guitar down, and sadly I'm not going to be able to play it now. I'm actually not going to be able to play it until probably later this evening, because right now I'm heading for another potential purchase. A restaurant called Harmancos, or Harmoncos, however you say it, is actually going out of business. It's in Albemarle, and they're going out of business. They're only going to be open for, actually, like, as of recording this, like 2 or 3 more days, and they actually have a sound system they're selling, like a PA with, I believe, a mixer, several speakers, some microphones, mic stands, a snake, things like that. So because we're potentially investing in a new mixer for the band, I figure what I could potentially do, if I can get it for a good enough deal, I can buy it and maybe sell some of the things I don't need and keep some of the things I do need, such as a snake, maybe extra microphones, and obviously mic stands. And that way I can, instead of having to always, like I mentioned before, tear down my shop every freaking time we do any live stuff, maybe I can have some of that gear on hand to use for live stuff. So hopefully gonna get it for a good deal, and we're heading there right now. So fingers crossed we can get everything for a good deal, and also maybe it's actually a decent condition, because if it's not super, you know, yeah, I don't mind taking it in somewhat rough condition, but if it's not decent enough, I kind of hesitant to get it, because I wouldn't want to have to, you know, buy something that had to spend more money on it to get it fixed up to a point, and then I'll probably put in more money that is actually worth, which I've run into several times, so I don't want to have to do that. Anyway, we're on the way to Harmoncos to check out some gear and actually also have some lunch. So here we are, about to walk in, have a little late lunch with Brent, and maybe check out some of this potential gear. Excited. Okay, so after a lot of rain and a little bit of wheeling and dealing, we got it. I don't know if you can tell from back there, but I got my car pretty much stocked to the brim. Thankfully, Brent was there with me, and thank goodness he was there, because he actually helped load up some of the stuff. Great, I'm very thankful for that. Shout out to Jamie Johnson of Harmoncos, Harmancos, however you say it. She really helped with I mean, a great deal, gave me a great deal to help with this project, and also just very helpful with everything I did. So shout out to her. All right, we is home, slowly getting this stuff into my dad's shop. Thank goodness he allowed me to store the stuff in here, hopefully temporarily, until I can A, sort through this, and B, potentially sell some of it, and C, get it hooked up. So I'm gonna try to start getting this done. It is starting to rain a little bit, so we're gonna hopefully get this stuff situated. So got everything unloaded, I think. I'm gonna take you through this in just a second. We're gonna do the smaller stuff first. So here's a bunch of cables, speaker cables and whatnot that came with everything. Here are 2 DI boxes here, and I saw this here, which is a just a receiver for, you know, like a wireless microphone. So I think there might be wireless mic and wireless transmitter somewhere in here. Ignore some of this other stuff like this amp. This is something different. But yeah, got that situated. Here is the big freaking snake, as you can see. This is a huge snake, 16 channels here. Looks like it has 4 stereo sends and whatnot. So I think Brent said this is 150 feet. Thank goodness he was there to help me lug all this, because this was impossible by myself. So I would believe him that it's under 50 feet. Oh, we cleaned this off a bit. Looks really nice. This is actually Seismic Audio, I think, on the side. Yeah, this is Seismic Audio, which are good. As far as I know, I mean, they're a nice name brand, not something basic. So it has 16, this is like a good stage box here. 16 ins, 4 outs, so we could either use this for, you know, potentially A, for sending out to like some wedges, which I'll show you in a second, or B, maybe even just doing a in-ear mix, which I need to really test this out, because I have some ideas for how I can use this and how I don't have to buy as much crap as I had a fear that I had to buy. But anyway, this is one of the things that I was really excited about getting. I'm very excited about that. It actually saved a lot of money and stress on me getting this here. So that's exciting here. And obviously the big things you see are the wedges here. Got 4 of them. Honestly, forgot I got 4. I thought I only had 3. I haven't tested them out. None of this has been tested, by the way. So I'm just praying that it works. Last time they used it was sort of, I don't know how long ago it was. They kind of told me it should be working fine, and I'll test it sometime.
They all look good. One that's got a little bit of yuckiness is here. It looks like somebody spilled something on it. It looks gross as crap. So I'm gonna try to clean some of these as much as I can. Really gonna test them out. Now, let's look at the fun stuff. So this is all the stuff that came in these really nice but super freaking heavy cases. Here's the first obvious thing, the mixer, the thing I had to open. They use this as a 16 channel mixer here. You can see they already had certain things kind of already set up, certain people to play certain things on it, as you can see. But I'm not really 100% certain if I even want to use this. There's no way to do any type of specific, you know, like you can probably individually control monitor mixes and stuff in here, maybe based on some sends potentially, because let's see, assign to main mix. Potentially you can do that here, but I mean, I really would much rather the ease of a modern mixer. So probably something I'm gonna sell potentially. Let's see, it's a Mackie 1604 VLZ Pro. Okay, great. Did I say Midas preamp? I thought I said Midas something preamps or something. But anyway, I mean, this is everything already set up. I mean, it looks pretty dang good. I mean, it's super clean, super nice condition too. That's one thing. Second thing I saw, the two things that I was kind of like, you know, pretty intrigued by. I don't really know how much I've used every piece of this. Here's one of them. It's probably the heaviest box there is. So this is a lot of stuff here. There's a studio amplifier here. I don't actually 100% know what this is gonna do. I think this is just literally just to drive the speakers potentially. I don't really know. They haven't maxed out all the way. And then above that is some DBS EQs. Looks like they used an EQ for, let's see, drum mix 1 and mix 2. So interesting. Super clean condition as well. And obviously a power conditioner, which is something I really, really want to have. I think this is gonna be something I'm really gonna use a lot. Because power conditioner is something you cannot go without. On the back, funnily enough, there's a big old honking, I think it's an XLR cable right there. Is that what that is? Yeah, it looks like stuff's already plugged into this thing. But there's a little little SM58 clone microphone back there. So hey, I got a mic with it too, which is awesome. And very similarly is this box right here, a little smaller, but it sort of has the same sort of vibe here. Power conditioner here, as well as a graphic EQ, and looks like it has this is a 2-channel EQ. Is this a 2-channel EQ? Let's see, that's total of 3 channels right there, I'm assuming. I would guess. But this is a 2-channel, looks like here. I've actually wanted to get an EQ. I really wanted a compressor or something for my studio, like this is a compressor. Perfect. Okay, well maybe I can try this compressor for either in the studio for, like, you know, our live tracking and stuff like that for vocal mics, or maybe I can have it for the rig that I'm going to be building for our live set. And here's it's a CD player. Fantastic. So I can have that if I need it. This is also cool too. Having a second power conditioner is cool. I don't, let's see, line voltage here. Interesting. That wasn't on the other one, so maybe this tells you what voltage you're at, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't really know a lot about power conditioners. One of the more interesting finds is this over here, which at first when I looked at it, it was super top heavy, so that should have gave something away. But I looked down here and I was like, okay, here's where all the microphones could go. Only came with one, another SM58 clone. And then I looked in here, it looks like a ton of cables here. And hey, and I think this is the thing I just saw a second ago. All right, yep, so that is a Shure wireless microphone. So sure enough, that is where that battery, or excuse me, that receiver was at. So I have a wireless microphone, and I think in here I saw this too when I snuck a sneak peek. XLR cable and speaker cable galore. Let's see, okay, there's a DI box down here. Awesome. Can always use more DI boxes. They're never bad to have. Looks like another DI box as well. I got 3 of those sidekicks now. I thought I saw something down here. Maybe I didn't. I swear there's a transmitter somewhere down here. Well, that's kind of disappointing. I can't really use it then, unless maybe this thing just is unless the microphone is a transmitter receiver. Oh, sweet, I got some. Oh, wow, nice. Okay, this is an interesting find here. Sennheiser microphones. I have no idea anything about these. I mean, Sennheiser's a great product, obviously. No clue though. These look like they're like for toms. That is a find I did not expect to see in here. Okay, that's very interesting. So Sennheiser, I guess E604s. After that, I'm gonna make sure there's nothing else in here. Looks like that's all the cable. It's just a bunch of cables and stuff. And then of course I was like, oh wait a minute, what's back here? It feels awfully top heavy. Well, I guess I never need to go to the cable store again. There's a bunch of XLR cables and 1/4-inch cables and stuff like that galore. Let's see, I think it is just cables. Yeah, just a bunch of cables, which is great. I mean, hey, whew, that is this haul. Oh, and obviously you got some very high quality microphone stands here. 3 of those. So I mean, I definitely, I mean, I didn't pay a cheap amount for it, but I didn't also pay a super expensive amount for it either. So I'm very happy with that. Looks like we can pause there, decide how the crap I'm gonna get all this stuff going.
All right, 1 shower, 1 meal, and 1 nap later, we're back, and we finally plugged in the new guitar. This thing looks really sick on camera. That black headstock with that silver logo looks really great. The hardware looked awesome. My dad even commented, this looks great. So very happy. Brent actually played it before he headed out. He said the action was amazing. The action is really well set up. It's a really well set up guitar. He mentioned how the neck feels a little chunkier than his. I'm not exactly sure what the the radius is on the neck or anything like that. I'm actually going to look up the serial number in a second because I'm curious about it. Advertises it's made in 2006. And interestingly, I actually didn't notice this until now. There's a little badge on there right there. Hopefully you can see it. It says Fender 60. So I'm assuming this is just the 60th anniversary maybe run of this. It's an FSR Telecaster, which I think means factory special made or Fender special made or something like that. And it's basically, when I looked it up, mentioned how maybe this was like a partnership with them and Musicians Friends / Guitar Center. And they basically just did a run, just like a special made run for that in 06. Either way, some interesting things. I kind of maybe mentioned this before about it, but this is a 4-way pickup selector instead of a 3-way pickup selector. So again, obviously bridge, obviously neck, but the 2 in the middle, one is, not sure which is which, but one is both in series, the other's both in parallel. Also another interesting thing too, usually volumes here and tones here. It's the opposite on this. This one's volume, this one's tone. But it might be a little hard to do some volume swells like Brent mentioned, but still, beautiful guitar, amazing playing. We're gonna kind of demo it real quick, nothing too special, just gonna kind of play for a second. So sorry for not giving you a demo right now, but I'm kind of confused. I think the whole thing's wired in reverse. I mentioned how this is volume and this is tone. I also think this is backward, because if you listen, I'm just kind of on a pretty basic clean sound. I was kind of going to the bridge position, the neck position. That sounds like this, but if I go to the quote-unquote bridge setting, I think this is wired in reverse. I think this is so instead of this position lining up with this, it lines up with that. Weird, it's backwards. So the pickup selector is backwards too. I mean, that's something I'm about to get used to. Or what I could do is just take it to Coleman Music, a place I go to kind of get guitars set up and whatnot, and get it redone properly. That's weird though, because I was playing this and I was like, I mean, that's a warmer sound. And if I go to this, I mean, that's definitely a brighter. So yeah, anyway, back with the demo, I guess. It's just gonna look weird because I'm gonna be flipping to different pickups that I'm not used to flipping to. That's hilarious. say, I mean, I'm definitely happy with this. It's just hilarious to me. Everything's backwards. I'm gonna look up the serial number to this just to see if I can figure it out. Maybe I can find the original image of this, and maybe there's a reason why. Maybe this is just some potential mod somebody did, and maybe they didn't quite do it quite right and they got it backwards. Either way, I mean, it still sounds fantastic. This thing plays amazing. I mean, I've really not played a telly that feels this good, really, ever. I mean, it feels like really fluid neck, or you know, it really feels like a really nice neck shape for me, whatever the neck type is. So needless to say, I'm super happy with the purchase, even the purchase of what I showed you a minute ago, of all the other stuff, all the other sound gear. So anyway, I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna keep on messing with the sounds. Look bright. I mean, it's actually a pretty warmer sound compared to a lot of tellies, and I can tell these are pretty fresh strings. But I still always like to kind of mess around because, you know, even I've been playing my Strat a lot, which, you know, still single coils and stuff like that. Definitely a very different sound on this than this. I think the new strings make it kind of a little brighter. I kind of like duller sounding guitars, like warmer sounding guitars anyway. So I'm gonna keep playing a little bit more, maybe jam to some backing tracks and whatnot. But either way, I mean, like, dude, seriously, sick, freaking sick day, super busy day, and a lot of stuff happened today. But I am super happy with the results here. Super happy with the look of this thing, and just looking at it, I mean, I just cannot explain how awesome this is to look at this thing. I mean, to play it and hold it in person, and to know now this is my baby. I mean, this is a great thing. It's an awesome thing. Thanks for watching.